purposes. So hi everyone. If you want to mute yourself, if you're worried about potential dogs, gremlins in the background, that's absolutely fine. If you want to keep yourself unmuted, that's fine as well. So weekly Wednesday skill sesh. I've invited the lovely Jogger on tonight to help us out for a little change of scenery and change of voice. I think you all know him just looking around the room, so I don't really need to do too much of an introduction. But obviously, Jogger, we're very grateful that you're here and thank you for your time in advance. So would you like to let us know what you're going to cover?
I'm just I'm checking my online banking, and Hannah, you haven't sent me my fee for speaking tonight, so
no, you'll get it on the 21st of each month.
Every month?
Every month, yeah. The better you do, the more you get paid.
Oh, cool.
No pressure.
No pressure. It's lovely when people are joining. Here comes Shelley.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, cool. Hello, everyone. You all right? Good. I am here to cover a couple of topics, and halfway through, I've been advised it'd be good to do some actual kind of work on the call, which you can do very small in bite size, and then I'll hand over to Hannah afterwards to finish off. And we're going to cover, I guess, if you just need a show of hands for the ones who can. Are you all aware of the MTO system, the minimum target outrageous system of goal setting? If you're not, if you are or not, I'll get cool, fine. So I'm just going to put a bit of flesh on the bones on there. So the theory of goal setting is fabulous, but if you've noticed that sometimes you can set goals, not reach them, and then feel really bad about it. And the weird thing is that when you look at who's at the scene of the crime every time, I can set a goal, I can then not reach that goal, and then I feel bad about not reaching the goal that I set myself in the first place. If you saw one of your children do that, you'd be like, why are you, that's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So in sports science, they have something very similar as well for goal setting. And for athletes, they have an MTO system where they have a minimum target and outrageous. And what that allows athletes to do is have a basic structure to create better habits in everything that they do. So if someone is going for the Olympics and they're trying to win a gold medal, their sole goal cannot be to win a gold medal, because it means they could be there as a silver medalist, they could be there as a bronze medalist on the podium. And especially as a silver medalist, you'll be looking up at the gold medalist and going, that was my goal. I wanted to be an Olympic gold medalist, and I'm just a silver medalist. Which, when you think, 0.001% of people in the whole world ever get an Olympic gold medal, which shows you what kind of category Andrew Lindsay's in as the CEO of our company. It's a very elite of the elite that ever get there. Imagine your child coming home and going, I only got an A double star for all my results. And you're like, that's brilliant. Well, no, so-and-so got an A triple star. And you'd be like, yeah, but, at the beginning of the year, you would have bitten your hand off for a guaranteed A or an A star. It's really interesting what we set our comparisons up for, and what we set our goals up towards can often make us feel like failures. It has done for me. And if you ever thought, I set myself a goal, didn't reach it, I'm a failure. And then eventually what happens is you stop setting daily goals and tasks and weekly goals and bigger goals. So what MTO allowed you to do is have a breakdown of goals. So rather than, for example, saying I'm going to win the Olympic gold medal, you'd have a 3-step process. You'd say my minimum target is to train as hard as I can, as often as I can. So to make my training sessions and train. My target is to make the Olympic Games. And my outrageous goal is not only to win the gold medal, but it's to break the world record. And then what that allows you to do is, because as human beings, we are the kind of people who like to achieve things. Okay. And if you ever wonder why, if you ever get, do we really like achieving things? Just think about the fact that everyone here, raise your hands if you've ever written a shopping list or a to-do list. You've written one up, things to do. You've done that, yeah? Now, when you do, the weird thing, if you do, like now at the moment, I use Alexa for my shopping list. So I add things on through the shopping list. I've gone shopping, for example, and I found something. I've gone, oh, I've missed that off my shopping list. I've then added it to my shopping list just so I can then cross it off. Not just picked it up and put it in the basket. Same with the to-do list. You've done things in your life where you've ticked them off or crossed them off. And then you go, oh, actually today I actually managed to do this as well. So you add it to your list just so you can cross it off. that's not because we're weird. It sounds weird when you say it out loud. You go, yeah, I've done that. And now I'm admitting it to people that I don't know that well. But yes, I'm admitting that it's because we're progressive creatures. We're creatures of habits and we like to progress. It's why we started off in caves and now can live in, you know, if you want and choose to, you can live in a Kim Kardashian style mansion if you want, because we like to progress. You know, we can go from a few years ago having electric cars to now having them everywhere, but going, hang on, we're not going to just land on the moon. We're going to go to Mars and go and send a rover to Mars and take pictures of Mars. That's what we do as human beings. So that's innately in us, and it's there and it's not going to go away. So what's really good is that you can decide how you set your goals. And once you realize that you are in charge of setting your goals, you then realize that if you set them correctly, you can set yourself up to win more often than fail, or win more often than lose. It's not really a fail, but in our head we say, you know, if we don't achieve something, we feel like a failure, or you don't feel as good as you could do. So what we're going to work on through that is MTO. So an example of, give me an example of a target that somebody might have. And I'm going to do it business related, but I'll do some examples otherwise. So what are targets that people set themselves, Hannah, or something, just so?
So let's say, yeah, holiday promotion.
Brilliant. So they set themselves up as a holiday promotion, but what's the goal? The goal is I'm going to be on that holiday because I've said it so loud and I've said it often and I've visualized it. I've put up my sticker chart, you know, got Eye of the Tiger, Vision of Eagle. I've got my stickers. I'm not going to let myself and my family down. I'm going to get there. You know, all that motivational stuff, which helps for a bit, but it's a bit like sometimes if you're feeling low on energy and you have an energy drink, you feel great for a bit. And then you've had that come down of that sugar rush disappears and all the stuff they put in there disappears and you go, and that's sometimes what it can feel like when you feel really motivated, psyched up, but actually doing the actions and getting forward in life, you haven't created the habits. That's all. It's not genius. It's not like really just haven't created the habits. And doing MTO goals on a daily, weekly, monthly basis helps and instills those habits. And it's habits that make you reach your goals. It's habits and little motivational things that create those habits that you do that get you towards your end goal. And it's really, really key that we remember that, not just have a big end goal and have no activity in between. You know, if you don't do any appointments, don't see anyone, don't speak to anyone, there's no way you're going to go on holiday, no matter how much you try and think it to yourself like The Secret or anything like that. It's just not going to happen. So working on that basis, if your goal was to go for the holiday, you could say, well, let's work on the thing that I control, which is the activity. I can't control whether I get on the holiday, but I can control the activity that I can do towards it. So your minimum would be, right, minimum would be, I want to go and say you're doing the weekend break and it's 12 points a month or whatever it is. Well, the minimum is if I want to do 12 points a month, I'm going to need at least 4 Daffy customers. I'm going to at least need 4 appointments. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I set aside time to make calls. That's it. So I'm going to make 2 calls a day. I'm going to speak to 2 people a day. I'm going to make 4 calls a day. Whatever the activity that you feel, and it doesn't have to be huge. It can be, you know what, I'm going to make sure I speak to 2 people every day, connect with 2 people, but really speak to one person properly about anything. It can be just like reconnecting with someone. That's the minimum you do. You're going to make sure that you connect with someone today. And then your target would be, well, what I want to make sure is I do 5 calls. Your outrageous goal may be to make sure that you do 1 person you can speak to, you can do 5 calls. Your outrageous target would be, I'm going to make sure that I get an appointment in the diary. See, what most people start with, think about it, we've done it, is we go, right, I want to get 4 Daffies, so what I'm going to do is make sure I've got 8 appointments in the diary. And they go straight at the top end, and you're like, hold on, you know, ease into it. Make sure that you do the activity. So what do you want to make sure you do? You want to make sure, number 1, you got your minimum. So I'm going to write this down here as well, so I don't remember. So you got your minimum, which is making sure that you connect with 1 person. Okay, so whether that's through Facebook, WhatsApp, Messenger, you connect with 1 person because you're going to need to build your pipeline over a period of time. It's not about what you do today. It's what you do on a regular basis consistently that's going to add up to people in your pipeline. Your target will be to do 5 calls, or 4 calls, or 3 calls, or 10 calls, depending on whether you're full or part-time. Your outrageous goal will be, here's why I have to write things down. What did I say the outrageous was going to be?
Get an appointment.
One appointment. Now, normally we're like, no, it's get 8 appointments. Well, no, just get 1. And if you get another one, you get 2, you get 3. It's a bonus. Now, if at the end of the day, you've connected with one person and you've made 5 phone calls and only spoke to one person because 4 answer phones or not got in, and you didn't actually make an appointment, you've hit 2 of your 3 target days. You actually start the day winning. You go, well, actually, I connected with Sarah. I've made 4 calls. I've got to follow up one person who I actually spoke to because they said, speak to me again in September. That's fine. I've done my calls. I've made my connection. What I didn't do is get my appointment. No worries. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And you end up feeling better, and you have an upward spiral of feeling better about yourself, feeling better about setting the next day's MTO, because then you can have that as a regular basis one, and you can adjust it as well as you go along. You don't have to set it and then that's it. But it's really key that you set it, you plan it, you then do it, and then you review it afterwards and go, right, actually that worked for me. And go, actually, I could probably easily connect with 2 people. And there's no reason to keep pushing your minimum up. Your minimum's got to be something that's so achievable and so doable that you could probably just do it in your sleep. You know, I said texting one person or messaging one person or liking someone's post and sending them a private message or sending happy birthday. That's reconnecting with someone. That's you know, building a relationship over a period of time. Adding a person to your list that you haven't spoken to, following somebody up. They're all simple things that you can do very easily. And because they're easy to do, they're easy wins. And those easy wins will help you progress your own self-esteem and your own feelings of positivity towards setting more goals. Because when we don't hit our goals, that we then go, oh, I don't want to set any more because then I don't feel really good. And then you don't do it on a Wednesday. By Thursday, you forget about doing your daily task. By Friday, you're looking forward to the weekend. You're like, oh, I'll start again next week. And that's why when we have a deadline to do things, we do more. So the biggest thing people do is set a goal and set a deadline, but they don't plan it through and do the activity. So we're going to work on the activity side of things. Another example for a minimum target outrageous, maybe you're working towards, I remember I did one and it was towards health. And it's like, I just wanted to be, you know, I just want to get fitter. And it's like, well, yeah, okay, I'm going to do 2 hours on the bike. I'm going to do 6,000 miles a year on my bike. That was like a thing. And I broke it down and worked it all out. And when I was speaking to someone who does really good goal setting, they went, okay, so what's your minimum going to be? And I was like, oh, well, you know, I want to get fitter and healthier. So I'm going to make sure I do at least 6 to 12 hours a week. So I'm going to do 6 hours a week cycling. And they went, okay, let's take it back a bit. And I was like, what do they mean? I went, what do you do in your habits when you get up? I went, well, I get up, I have a coffee, have a breakfast. He went, and is hydration important for your health? I went, yeah. And they went, is hydration important for cycling and sports? I went, yes, very. You went, so let's add a step in. Your minimum is you're going to wake up and have a glass of water before you have your coffee. I was like, well, that's my minimum. And they're like, yeah, just do that. And I thought it was really interesting. And they went, the power isn't in the one glass. It's that every day you wake up, you're going to have a coffee just before you have a glass of water. So your hydration level starts early. Because if you're going to exercise later or anything like that, then it's going to help your body. But it also then helps. And he goes, then you could work towards, well, by lunchtime, my target is to have 4 glasses of water. My outrageous target is to make sure I drink 2 liters of water a day. He goes, that may not directly impact your cycling in your head, like, oh, I want to cycle, but it helps a part of your health that you've been neglecting. And it's an easy win. And it's not the 1 glass of water in the morning. It's the 365 additional glasses that you're going to have over the year that will help you. And that's when it penny dropped. I was like, yeah, that's an extra 365 glasses of water I wouldn't have in a year. And then it's something within my control. Because then I can say, well, I've had my glass of water. Let's go and see if I can do a 15-minute stretch or a workout. Let's go and see if I can do a 30-minute workout. Let's go and see my outrageous goal, which is to get out on the bike for 2 hours. So if you're setting daily goals like that are very small, they seem ridiculous. Like 1 glass of water, is it going to make a difference? Yeah, over a period of time makes a huge difference. But the difference isn't just to my health. The difference is to my mentality that I'm setting myself little easy wins that go and create really, really good habits. So I now have a habit where there's no way I wake up every day and don't have a glass of water first. And if you're like me before, it was coffee straight away or something, you know. And that little step has changed my mindset, because when I had that drink of water, I then think, oh, okay, I'm going to have a cup. And it starts my thought thinking, so where can I fit in 15, 20 minutes of stretching? Where can I fit in a 30-minute workout? Where can I fit in a bike ride? And now I sit and plan that out on a Sunday, and I have a program through, and I have an app, and it tells me these are the days I'm going to be doing the bike rides. This is where it's cut out chunks of time for me. And some of them are just 15, 20-minute bike rides. And some of them are 2-hour bike rides. And, you know, it's because I've decided that's a real part of my health that I want to work on. And plus, when you can't go outside for a year, you know, I've got an indoor bike, you've got to train and do something so that, you know, for me, it was about being socially distanced from my fridge long enough to stay healthy. That was it, because my bike is very close to my fridge and I always see it. And now my office is in the kitchen and it's not where it should be. And I'm mentally thinking little bits of things like having water, having fruit, things like that will help your health. So if you're looking at different areas, the 5 or 6 areas I'd look at, and you're going to pick one of these now and then go and work some MTO goals in the next 30 seconds. And we can talk through some. I'll help you. Hannah will help you. Hope you understand from just a glass of water, it can be that simple and easy, but it creates a great habit. So you could look at your health. You could look at the money side of things. You can look at the business or your work. You could look at a family goal, or you could look at a personal development goal. And the final one you could look at is either spiritual or a charity or giving back goal. But have a think of one of those ones that you want to really work, something that you're passionate about, something you want to change, and then work out what your minimum target and outrageous would be if you were starting this tomorrow. So what would be the smallest thing that you could do, something that's not too hard to achieve, then something that's a bit further of a stretch, and then something that's an outrageous stretch. So if you want to work on those, I'll work on a new one as well with you, because it's a good idea to do that at the same time. So I'm going to do.
If you need any help whilst you're doing it, just shout.
Yes, put your hand up or unmute yourself.
So this is a daily one we're working on.
A daily one, please, yeah.
Yeah.
So a daily one that will end up being towards a bigger goal. And like I said, sometimes in left field, I want to be really good at cycling. What the heck's water got to do with it? Well, you know what? You've got to start somewhere. When it comes to health, you've got to start somewhere, and those little easy wins help. Get to the big one. So I'm going to go for. And if anyone's got one they want to share, it'd be useful, because then you can, yes, it will make you the guinea pig, but it also means that you get expert help from Hannah to get it right. And obviously share these with each other, whether you're using success buddies or accountability buddies or something like that. And it's good to work on all 5 or 6 of those aspects, but tonight just work on one and work it into a daily goal. And you'll be surprised how much of a difference it makes.
Go on then, who's going to be brave? Yes, I knew it would be you, Kerry. I was almost going to say, go on, Kerry.
Yay.
Go on, Kerry, what's yours?
Okay, so I'm putting it out there. I've got 23 holiday points to get by next Wednesday. So I thought I'd share that with all of you to get from Mexico. Are you?
Yep.
Okay, we can do it. And if we don't, it doesn't matter, but we can. So I've just put, so it was a daily goal. So I've put a minimum, speak to at least one person a day about UW, because I know I can do that. My target, speak to 20 people minimum a day. And my outrageous is do at least one appointment and book one appointment a day.
Brilliant. So you can see if you'd set your goal as do one appointment and set one appointment a day, and you didn't get it done on your first day, you would just throw in the towel.
And that's exactly what's happened to me this week. So I'll share it out there. So on Monday, I was like, I've got 26 points to get. So I'm going to speak to 100 people a day, and I'm going to go and post 100 letters, and I'm going to do everything. And then I procrastinated for the whole day and spoke to absolutely nobody. So it really does show that it really works, just having that minimum goal, because at least if you do that, it does push you to do more.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the reason that I wanted to ask Joga to do this tonight and to chunk it down into daily ones is because quite often we see ourselves go, right, I want to get to senior team leader, and my minimum is to do it by the end of 2021, and my target is to do it by MAD, and my outrageous is to do it by power up. And then we just do that, and then we just hope that it happens. So I think what you can do, what I thought you guys could do either now or, you know, before you go to bed tonight, is work out a goal that you'd like to do by, let's say, power up, because it's about 4 weeks away, I think. And then from there, you can chunk that down and do every Sunday evening when you're watching Wes's call, you can set your MTO for the week. And then from there, you can set your MTO for the day. And you could absolutely smash it on day one and then give yourself a bit of a break towards the end of the week. Or you could procrastinate Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and be like, right, now I need to up my daily MTO in order to achieve my MTO for the week. Does that make sense? So we can be a little bit more flexible. And sometimes we've got all busy days, you know, it might be that Monday is a particularly busy day at work and you can't do as much at UW, but Tuesday isn't, so you can do a little bit more. Whereas if we have our, you know, our DMO sheets, the slight edge sheets from art that we've been working on, I don't know about anybody else, but I might have a really good day and do 6 out of 7 of my activities and have a bloody brilliant day, but actually on paper I failed, which is quite difficult to deal with. So what I like about doing a daily MTO, for those of us who, you know, can't do as much, is that you can be really flexible with it. And each day, I mean, the night before you go to bed, you can say, right, what's my day looking like tomorrow? What's going to be achievable? My minimum could be, I'm going to post in the WhatsApp groups. I'm going to post a story in the WhatsApp groups of the team. My target could be, I'm going to make sure I pick up the phone and call someone. And my outrageous could be, I'm going to attend an hour's call blast. But if we say, right, tomorrow I'm going to attend an hour's call blast, and then at 5 to 11, you realise you've got to go and pick the kid up from school because he's unwell and whatever, you failed, haven't you? But actually, if that happens, you can go, that's okay, because I can do my target. And if you can't do my target, well, that's okay, I can do my minimum. I can post in the WhatsApp group, and then you've still succeeded. So I just thought it might be a nice way for us to kind of feel like we're actually doing something every day and actually winning at life every day in some way. Anyone else feeling brave and want to share theirs? Oh, Louise, I thought you put your hand up then, but you were just moving your arm. You very nearly like auctioned and won a painting at a gallery for like 10 grand then, by mistake. Anyone else who's feeling brave? No one's even making eye contact. I can't believe you're doing that on Zoom. Or even like in a training room, one's like this. You're doing it to me on Zoom now. Jogger, did you do one?
Yes.
Would you like to share it?
So for me, what's dropped is an area of, it's one of my favorite areas, actually personal development. I looked and I've got 3 Audible credits that have built up, which I don't understand why, because I listen to so much stuff. I always get something in, and then I realize it's because I've been ignoring it. And I look at my Audible and it's, it tells you how much you've listened to it. And I'm like, wow, that's nowhere near the amount I need to. So what I've done is, for that is my minimum is to pick an Audible. So I'm going to go on to the Audible site and pick something to put into my favorites and to order, because I've got the 3 credits. My target's to get at least 15 minutes of audio personal development done. And my outrageous one, throwing out there, you know, because it's Thursday and there's school run days and things like that to do on certain days. I'm going to try and listen to I'm going to do my best to listen to a whole podcast from the Happy Place, Fern Cotton, which can be about 40, 45 minutes. That's what I'm going to aim for. But the main thing is, if I can get my order, you know, it sounds really, if I can get on Audible and press click buy, I'm winning. That's my minimum tomorrow, because I've got to use that target. And then I'm going to, then it's going to change from that to being a chapter of the Audible book, because I've got an Audible book going on. The life and meaning of Mariah Carey is what I'm listening to. So
are you actually?
Yeah.
Nice. Good.
I was fascinated and by her when I was obviously younger, but also
Why?
Just her music moved me. all I want for Christmas is to be in a Mariah Carey video. And just I like people who got famous and see how they dealt with it. and I realised I'm still on the same chapter I have been for like 3 weeks, so I need to move forward with that. So that's my MTO, and then it'll be personal development for the rest of the 4 weeks leading up to Power Up. One of the things the reason I said podcast as well is that I've not caught up with all the UW podcasts either. So I've put that as a stroke. If it's not Fern, it'll be a UW podcast, which is 20 minutes. So, but it's habit creating. It sounds really silly, but it just creates habits. The same way I had a habit of drinking a coffee every day, first thing in the morning. Oh, I can't do anything without my coffee. Well, I just drink a glass of water first, and wow, that's rehydration from that point. And also, there's so many examples of it in life. And I always say to teachers, Simon and Annie will know this. When you're teaching, when you're learning to read, you don't learn to read a whole book. You learn a letter, then you learn a word, then you put those letters together to get longer words, 2, or 3-letter words, and you get 2-syllable words, and then you progress onto a book. And it's not like the most difficult book, but we forget we take those baby steps all the way through life. It's just adults, we think that because we're adults, we can just jump to the end game. And when people say, success in life is about the journey, this is part of the journey. The daily steps of doing and creating winning habits is part of the journey. And then when you get to STL or GL and stuff like that, you'll set some more goals because, we're progressive animals and we like doing that. It's what we do as our nature. But if you haven't enjoyed the journey to STL and GL, 100 plus or 50 plus, whatever you're going towards, you're less likely to set more goals because you've gone, oh, that was tough. I'm not going through that again. Whereas if you can create these habits that help you win on a regular basis and realize those little things and little steps on a regular basis consistently make huge differences, then you're more likely to set more goals once you hit your goals of STL or GL or 100 plus, whichever you're going for. So that's why these MTOs are really important on a daily basis.
Yeah, and I don't know if everyone saw the video that I shared in the WhatsApp group today about literally a race between the tortoise and the rabbit. And the rabbit just like shot off, and then just before the finishing line got distracted by something, and the tortoise just there like plodding along, and the tortoise won. And it's like that tortoise, just that literally its MTO was just to put one foot in front of the other and not stop. And the rabbit probably was just like, I'm just going to run as fast as I can, and then got distracted. So it's really great. I just love that video. It's not the first time I've seen it, but I thought this time I've got to share it with you guys because it is so true. It's just that consistent effort, isn't it? That is just so important. My alarm going off. Cool. Well, I hope that was helpful. I would love for you this evening, before you guys go to bed, to set yourself a MTO to achieve before Power Up. And then from there, you can break it down into an MTO for the week. And then from there, you can break it down into a daily one. But remember, they're flexible. So each week you can review it and say, right, how far have I come this week? What have I got next to do to get to my goal before Power Up? And then keep splitting it down from there. And if anybody would like help working those out, then absolutely happy to help you with that. Much rather help you with yours than have to do my own. But Shelley, I did think of you and me just then when we both said that we were going to try and drink 2 litres of water a day. And on the very first day, I was like, at the end of the day, just drinking water till I felt like it was going to come out my eyeballs. And then I was up 3 times in the night needing a wee. And I was like, right, I'm going to have to put napping into my day if I'm going to achieve this. But I thought, how good would it be for us to say, right, minimum is to have a glass of water first thing in the morning. Exactly. Target would be have a glass of water before each meal. Yes. And then outrageous would be to drink 2 litres a day, because that's exactly, is that what you did?
Yeah. So how weird is that? It's on there. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's brilliant. That's really helped me as well, because you wake up in the morning, you think, oh gosh, it's so much water to drink, and I just go and then it's like 11 o'clock and I still haven't hardly drunk anything, and it just feels like totally like you're drowning. Yeah. Literally. So I really love that. So that's really helped me as well. Yeah. Lovely. Thank you so much, Joga, for giving us your time and wisdom this evening. We really appreciate it, as always. Guys, I'd love it if you could share in the WhatsApp groups how this has helped you this evening. And if you're feeling brave, I would really love it if you could share your MTOs with us as well, for accountability, because we know that's really important, and to help inspire and give us all ideas as well. That would be fab. So lovely to see you all, and I will see you whenever's next. Have a good evening.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Emma.
Bye.
Thank you.